Narada ji, whatever I have told you till now, it is my experience. So you also believe. So let us understand this by reading the text 34. So, na bharati me angam mrishopalakshyate न वै क्वचिन् मे मनसो मृषा गतिः न मे हृषिकानि पतान्यसात् पथे यन्मे हृदौ कञ्चावता धृतो हरिः. So, translation: O Narada, because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, with great zeal, whatever I say has never proved to have been false, nor is the progress of my mind ever deterred, nor are my senses ever degraded by temporary attachment to matter. So here, Brahmaji is trying to convince Naradaji that whatever I have experienced till now, it is not false. It has been proved right. So now I am asking you to follow whatever I have observed. So let us read the purport. Can somebody read the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Lord Brahma is the original speaker of Vedic wisdom to Narada. And Narada is the distributor of the transcendental knowledge all over the world through his various disciples like Vyasadeva and others. The followers of Vedic wisdom accept the statement of Brahmaji as a gospel truth, and transcendental knowledge is thus being distributed all over the world by the process of disciplic succession from the time immemorial. Since the beginning of creation, the Lord is perfect.
Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma is the perfect liberated living being within the material world, and any sincere student of transcendental knowledge must accept the words and statement of Brahmaji is infallible.
As
Infallible.
Infallible.
Infallible. The Vedic knowledge is
infallible means it is eternal.
Eternal. The Vedic knowledge is infallible because it comes down directly from the Supreme Lord unto the heart of the Brahma. And since he is the most perfect living being, Brahmaji is always correct to the letter. And and this is because Lord Brahma is the great devotee of the Lord, and who has earnestly accepted the lotus feet of the Lord as the supreme truth. In the Brahma Samhita, which is compiled by Brahmaji, he repeats the aphorism. Aphorism, Prabhu?
Yeah, aphorism.
Aphorism. Govindam Adiburusam Damaham Prajami. I am the worshipper of the original personality of Godhead, Govinda, the primeval Lord.
Go ahead,
so, can I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, whatever he says, whatever he thinks, and whatever he does, normally in his mood are to be accepted as the truth because of his direct and very intimate connection with the Govinda, the primeval Lord, Sri Govinda.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. So, what we have understood from here? So, the experience of Lord Brahmaji is clear, and Lord Brahmaji, whatever he explains, is infallible, it is eternal. So, he is trying to convince Naradaji, although Naradaji is the representation of bhakti. So, is the other form of bhakti. So, therefore, although he knows, but he wants to hear from the mouth of Lord Brahmaji, because he is the one who has received this Vedic knowledge directly from the Supreme Lord. So he wants to hear from him. So that's how now that he wants to understand. Okay. Now let us move to the next verse, 35. Can somebody recite text 35?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shall I,
Yes,
Prabhu?
Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Text 35. Soham samamna yam yes tapomayah
Hare Krishna Mataji. Soham samamanayam mayastapomayaha.
Soham samamnaya
Samamnaya mayastapomayaha.
samamnaya maya tapomayaha prajapatinam abhivandita patihi astaya yogam nipunam samahitas tam na adyagacham
Tam
yatha
nadhyagacham.
yata atma tam nadyagacham yata atma sambhavaha.
Yatatma sambhavaha.
Yatatma sambhavaha.
Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Although I am known as the great Brahma, perfect in the disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities and am an expert in mystic powers and self-realization, and although I am recognized as such by the great forefathers of the living entities who offer me respectful obeisances, still I cannot understand him, the Lord, the very source of my birth. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. It is self-explanatory. So we all know that Lord Brahma is the secondary creation, but by default we understand this Brahma is the creator. Out of the three elements, three avatars, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. So here he is the one who created Lord Ishvara also, out of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So who is the representation of annihilation, and Lord Vishnu is the representation of maintenance. So here Brahma, everyone understands that Brahma is the creator. Brahma is very, very clearly explaining that I am not the one who is the creator. I am just the follower of Supreme Lord Krishna. Whatever he has created, I have supported and I have carried forward. That means to say what? Although I am known as great Brahma, perfect in the disciplic succession of Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities, still I could not understand him. I might be having mystic powers. I might have realized myself, and I have taken birth from Supreme Lord Krishna directly, but still I could not understand. See, this is the significance of it. His unconceivable potencies cannot be understood by anyone, including Lord Brahma. So, do you want us to go through this purport? Okay. So, let us read these two verses. This fact is clearly corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita 18.14 to 54 and 55. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato gnatva vishate tadanantaram. So only self-realization by attainment of the above high qualifications of Vedic wisdom, austerity, etc. can help one on the path of devotional service. But failing in devotional service, one remains still imperfect, because even in that position of self realization, one cannot factually know the Supreme Lord. So here, Srila Prabhupada is very, very clearly explaining that one who is Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Prasannatma means the soul, which he has realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead only by devotional service. Patyamam abhijanati. So, yavan yaschasmi tattvataha, one who knows the Supreme Lord only by devotional service. So, only he can know me. So this is what Lord has explained. I think purport, it takes time. Let us have individually read the purports, but let us go to text number 36. Can somebody recite? Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji's Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
मह्यं तच्चरणं समीयुषां भवच्चिदं
Swastya,
स्वस्त्यायनं सुमङ्गलं
Swastyanam. Mataji,
Swastyanam.
Swastyanam.
Swastyanam. Sumangalam. Yohat. Hyatmaya. Maya vibhavam. Sma paryagad. Yatanabah swantamata pare kutaha.
Swantam.
Swantamata pare kutaha.
Yes, Mataji. Translation.
Translation. 1 second. Therefore, it is best for me to surrender unto his feet, which alone can deliver on one from the miseries of repeated birth and death. Such surrender is all auspicious and allow one to pervise all happiness, even perceive all happiness, even the sky cannot estimate the limits of its own expansion. So what can others do when the Lord himself is unable to estimate his own limits?
Yeah. So Lord's inconceivable potencies. Lord himself cannot estimate his own inconceivable potencies. So here the therefore is the beginning of this translation. Therefore, what is that therefore? Why we are getting is therefore? In the previous verse, what Lord has said, although everyone understands that I am the one who has come from the disciplic succession, and I am the one who has got these mystic powers, and I am the one who is taken birth directly from the source of Lord, and I am the one, although I am recognized by such great forefathers and of other living entities, okay, but still I could not understand the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, what is it that we have to do? If we cannot understand, we have to accept. So that's what yesterday in Srimad Bhagavatam, see, nobody can create this Bhagavatam, or nobody can interpret this Bhagavatam, not in a position to convince or get convinced. So what is the best way of thinking, understanding is that accept. So here in verse 35, Lord Brahmaji is telling, even I could not understand the Supreme Lord. And in 36, even Lord himself is unable to explain his inconceivable potencies. Therefore, the simple way of doing Bhakti Marga is that accept. How we have to accept? Simply by surrendering. So Lord is telling, Brahma is telling that just surrender unto his fate, which alone can deliver one from the miseries of birth and death. This we have to cut off the repetition of birth and death only by mere surrender. Which is the sloka in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that explains 18.66.
Sarvadharma Parit.
Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Okay, so Lord is repeatedly is giving this knowledge to us. Such surrender is all auspicious and allows one to perceive all happiness. So, how to understand to accept this? Happiness and distress only by perception. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. So only by perception. Correct. Okay. Significance is perceiving. So, what kind of perception we should have? Perception of experiencing the all auspiciousness to attain the permanent happiness, not the temporary happiness. Even the sky cannot estimate the limits of its own expansion. So, what can others do when the Lord Himself is unable to estimate His own limits? So, should we read purport, Matajis? Okay, let us read the purport in the beginning. We can understand it. Yeah. Can somebody read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Can I read,
Hare
Prabhu?
Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma, the greatest of all learned living beings, the greatest sacrificer, the greatest observer of the austere life, and the greatest self realized mystic, advises us as the supreme spiritual master of all living beings that one should simply surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord in order to achieve all success, even up to the limit of being liberated from the miseries of material life and being endowed with all auspicious spiritual existence. Lord Brahma is known as the Pitamaha or the Father's Father. A young man consults his experienced father about discharging his duties. So, the father is naturally a good advisor, but Lord Brahma is the father of all fathers. He is the father of all father. He is the father of Manu, who is the father of mankind all over the universal planets. Therefore, the men of this insignificant planet should kindly accept the instruction of Brahmaji and would do well to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord rather than try to estimate the length and breadth of the Lord's potencies.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu. Let us.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhu. So with this, what we can understand, see our this one Earth globe is insignificant. So where the globe itself is insignificant, what about our presence? We are also insignificant. So we cannot understand, or we, with our limited knowledge, we cannot understand the incomprehensible potencies of the Lord. So that being the case, what is the simple way of solution is go to Bhakti Marga and simply surrender unto the Lord and go back home, back to Godhead by breaking the chain of birth and death. So let us move to the next verse, verse number 37. Prabhu, you were trying to read the purport. Can you read the text 37, Prabhu? Other Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu. Okay, go ahead.
Naham na yuyayam yed ratam yed aratam
Hare
gatim
Krishna, Prabhu.
vidur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Naham na yuyam yadratam gatim vidur.
Naham na yuyum yed ratam gatim vidur. Na vama deva kim uta pare suraha.
Suraha.
Suraha tan maya.
You can even give up this ha. You can say Sura.
Sura tan maya mohita
Tanmaya
buddhya.
mohita.
तन्मायाय मोहिता बुद्ध्यायस्त इदं त्व इदं विनिरिमित्तं चता
Chatma.
विनिरुत्म
Chatma
चता
samam. Chatma.
चात्मसमं चात्मसमं विकास्महे
Vichakshmahe.
चक्षमहे. Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here, Lord is speaking about, Lord Brahmaji is speaking about our limitations in perceiving the incomprehensible potencies of the Supreme Lord. So here, even so Lord Shiva uh, and Lord Brahmaji both could not ascertain the spiritual happiness, the limits of spiritual happiness. Okay, so then how can other demigods know it? So that means to say, out of Trimurtis, even we, that means to say myself and Lord Shiva could not understand the potencies of the Supreme Lord. How can demigods also know it? So when that being the case, how can we also think of understanding the Supreme Lord? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, and the external energy is what? Is the material creation, which we know right from verse number 1 to 17. Okay, so there the Lord's external energy cannot be understood. So then what is that we are doing? We are understanding this manifested cosmos, whatever the form that we are able to understand. So let us understand further how this cosmos can be understood. Okay, 38, verse 38. यस्यावतार कर्माणि गायन्ते अस्माद् आद्यः आदयः नयं विदन्ति तत्त्वेन तस्मै भगवते नमः. Translation. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose incarnations and activities are chanted by us for glorification, though he can hardly be fully known as he is. So, what is that we can understand is finally, let us offer our respectful obeisances. Here, respectful obeisances. Who can offer these respectful obeisances? Only to the seniors. So here Lord Brahmaji is telling, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator of this entire cosmos. So whose incarnation and activities are chanted by us for glorification. So in this Purusha Sukta, verse number 23 onwards, it is the glorification of the potencies of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So those he can hardly be fully known as he is. That means it is very, very difficult to experience the Supreme Lord. Only pure devotion. With the pure devotion only he can be able to understand. Okay. So let us go to next verse. So verse number 34 to 38. What we have understood? The incomprehensible, inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Lord, Lord Brahmaji is explaining to Lord Narada. Therefore, the best way of understanding the Supreme Lord is through Bhakti Yoga by complete surrender. So, verse number 39 to 46, Brahmaji describes the original creator is the Mahavishnu. Okay, let us understand this. स ईशा आद्यः पुरुषः कल्पे कल्पे सृजति अजः आत्मात्मन्यात्मनात्मानां स सम्याच्छति पाति च. That supreme original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, expanding his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, the maintainer. The first incarnation creates this manifested cosmos, but he is unborn. The creation, however, takes place in him, and the material substance of manifestations are all himself. He maintains them for some time and absorbs them into himself again. So, the question what is that we have, was the one of the questions asked by Narada ji, who is the ultimately absorber. So that is what is being explained here. So then let us read the purport. Can somebody read the purport? Let us understand this clear. Yeah.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
The creation is not different from the Lord, and still He is not in the creation. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.4 as follows. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadav yakta murtina matastani sarva bhutani na chaham teshvabastitaha. The impersonal conception of the absolute truth is also a form of the Lord called Avyakta Murti. Murti means form, but because his impersonal future is inflexible to our limited senses. He is the Avyakta, he is the Avyakta Murti Param. And in that inflexible form of
Applicable.
the Lord, the
Applicable.
of the Lord, the whole creation is resting. Or, in other words, the whole creation is the Lord Himself. And the creation is also not different from Him. But simultaneously, He, as the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is aloof from the created manifestation. The impersonalist gives stress to the impersonal form. Hare Krishna. I just missed the line, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu. Yeah. The impersonalist gives stress to the impersonal form or feature of the Lord.
Oh, yeah. Can you kindly highlight, Prabhu? Lord,
Mm.
in impersonal feature of the Lord,
Mm.
and does not believe in the original personality of the Lord. But the Vaishnavas accept the original form of the Lord, of whom the impersonal form is merely one of the features. The impersonal and personal conceptions of the Lord are existing simultaneously, and this fact is clearly described both in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, and also in other Vedic scriptures. Inconceivable to human intelligence, the idea must simply be accepted on the authority of the scriptures, and it can only be practically realized by the progress of devotional service to the Lord, and never by mental speculation or inductive logic.
Okay.
The impersonalist,
Thank you, Prabhu. Let us go to the next point. Yeah. Here you can read the original personality.
from here, should I continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. The original personality of
The
Godhead.
original, the original personality of Godhead, Adya,
Hmm.
Govinda expands himself as the Mahavishnu incarnation and rests in the causal ocean, which he himself creates. The Brahma Samhita confirms this as follows. यत्कारणा यत्कारणानावजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रम् अनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूप आधारशक्तिम् अवलम्ब्य परं स्वमूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Lord Brahmaji says in this Brahma Samhita, I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who lies down in the causal ocean in his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, with all the universes generating from the pores of the hair on his transcendental body, and who accept the mystic slumber of eternity. So, this Mahavishnu is the first incarnation of creation, and from him all the universes are generated and all material manifestations are produced, one after the other. The causal ocean is created by the Lord as the Mahatattva, as the cloud in the spiritual sky, and is only a part of his different manifestations. The spiritual sky is an expansion of his personal race, and he is the Mahatattva cloud also. He lies down and generates the universes by his breathing and again by entering into each universe as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. He creates Brahma, Shiva, and many other demigods for maintenance of the universe and again absorbs the whole thing into personal as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.7.
So here,
Sarvabhutani
here,
Hare Krishna.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we have to understand here is that the explanation for the question that yet samstham, that how it is conserved, that means how the destruction happens. So here destruction is also the kind of creation only, because here the destruction is not absolute destruction, because in our what we understand here is that annihilation happens, but annihilation happens where it goes to the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, where Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu preserves for another 1,000 kalpas of Lord Brahmaji, the night of Brahmaji. And again, it is created. That means where is the creation and where is the annihilation? It is actually, it's in the same original form only, which is now in the Garbhodakasai Vishnu. So that's what we have to understand. Okay. So let us now go to the next verse.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Vishuddham kevalam jnanam pratyak samyak avasthitam satyam purnam anadi antam nirgunam nityam advayam rushe vidanti munayah prashantamendriyasayah
Prashantatmane.
prashantatmanendriyasayah yada tat eva sa tarkais tiro diyeta viplutam.
Once again, read this last one, Mataji.
Yeah. Rushe vidanti munaya prashantatmanendriyasya
Tatmendriyas.
prashantatmendriyasya yada tat eva
Sayaha. Sayaha. Shayaha.
Sayaha, I said, Prabhu.
Sha.
Prashantatmendriyasya yada tat eva sattarkai
Eva sat.
tadat eva sattarkai
Tarkais.
tirodiyeta viplutam.
Correct, Mataji. Yes. Translation.
Translation: the personality of Godhead is pure, being free from all contaminations of material tinges. He is the absolute truth and embodiment of full and perfect knowledge. He is all pervading, without beginning or end, and without rival. O Narada, O great sage, the great thinkers can know him when completely freed from all material hankerings and when sheltered under undisturbed conditions of the senses. Otherwise, by untenable arguments, all is distorted and the Lord disappears from our sight. Hare Krishna.
So Brahmaji is explaining how Lord can be appearing to you and how Lord can be disappearing from your sight. So only by pure devotional service Lord can be understood, and you can even perceive or you can even visualize also. But for the bhakti, it is very, very difficult even to have our own prajna, little knowledge, whatever we have, even it is very difficult to conceive the Supreme Lord. So what is that is when in this translation we can understand? With the material contaminations, it is very, very difficult to understand. So when Virata Rupa was shown to Lord Arjuna, by the Lord, what Lord said? You can't see me in the eyes what you have in this material eyes. So I'll give you Gnana Chakshushu. So that means he has given 3D spectacles to see the Virata Rupa, which is all pervasive. But Lord appeared as Virata Purusha for him to conceive. Otherwise, even Arjuna could not have conceived the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is what? He is expansion of everything. That's what we have understood. Verse number 34. So now here what Lord, Brahmaji is telling, he is the absolute truth and embodiment. There is no questions asked. He is the primeval Lord. He is the absolute truth. And that is the full and perfect knowledge. Understanding the Supreme Lord is the absolute truth, is the perfect knowledge. Otherwise, it is ignorance. So he is without beginning and without end, and he is telling without a rival. There is when the Lord himself is the creator, where is the question of rivalry? So then he is stressing, Narada, please listen to this. Even the great thinkers can know him when completely freed from these material contaminations, material hankerings. So when sheltered under undisturbed conditions of the senses, so one who is the absolute and pure devotee, then he can overcome the perceptions of the senses. Gunatita. So Lord himself is the Gunatita, but it is very, very difficult for us to overcome the senses. Trigunas. So Lord says to Arjuna, I am the one who has created these Trigunas. But Arjuna, try to overcome this. Otherwise, you will not be able to perceive the spiritual knowledge. You will be completely in the material knowledge. So that's how we have to understand here. So otherwise, that means once you come out of these material hankerings, then you will be able to perceive the Lord. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. Whatever may be the arguments, all are distorted and Lord disappears from your sight. So question of appearing and disappearing here, we have to understand. Even though an elevated soul, sometimes they fall down because of the distortions. The Lord disappears. So here we can understand the example of Yudhishthira. When going for this gambling, he forgot the Lord Krishna because he got influenced by this passion. What is the passion? That I am the ultimate gambler. Nobody can beat me. That was the ignorance. So therefore, Lord disappeared. So when Uddhava asked this question to Lord Krishna, how did you allow them to get cheated? The Lord clearly explains. He forgot me. So how can I? That is what we have to understand. In all our material activities, we should keep Krishna in the center. Then we will be able to be guided by the Supreme Lord, not to get caught in the web of this material world. Okay, let us go to the next verse. 42. Can somebody recite?
Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, can I ask one question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. If I can answer.
That means we can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu.
And just simple question.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, that means we can understand the God only through the Bhakti Marga?
Absolutely. No questions. That's what established in verse number 38. 38, 39.
But out of four yogas,
Yeah.
Jnana Yoga also one way of understanding the Lord. So that means with this material body, it is very difficult to conceive the Lord even through Jnana Marga. Is it like that, Prabhu?
Gnana Marga is one of the processes. Okay. But Gnani, sometimes what happens, they give their own interpretations.
Okay.
Yeah. So there, they get, they may not get, complete bhakti. Sometimes even
So ultimately,
without gnana marga, without anything, mere bhakti, how this can be understood is that when Brahmana was completely immersed, when when he was having Bhagavad Gita in his hands, by looking at the photo of Krishna who was acting as a charioteer to Arjuna, he was completely absorbed in that, he was weeping, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, why? So he was completely ignorant. He doesn't know how to read Bhagavad Gita. But still, with his complete absorption, that is the bhakti, he could able to feel. He could able to what we call bhava. Complete bhakti bhava he was experiencing. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciates. So you are the real devotee of the Lord.
yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Yeah, in Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are listening, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, in Canto 6, it is being explained. So one is, even your Gnana Marga, you cannot understand. Even your material this thing Marga, you cannot understand. Philosophical knowledge also, you cannot understand the Lord. Only by Bhakti, you can understand the Lord.
Well, even we see in Bhagavad Gita, na Prabhu, Krishna says,
Yeah.
6.47, Yogina api sarvesham.
Yes, Mataji. Hope Prabhu, I could able to, with little knowledge, I could able to explain it, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Read text 42, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can I read, Prabhu?
Prabhu, let this Prabhu take the chance. Prabhu,
Okay.
please go ahead. Yeah.
So Shivrasad Prabhu, see, there is something called as Kevala Bhakti and Mishra Bhakti, right? You would have heard this. What is Kevala Bhakti? Kevala Bhakti is the unalloyed devotional service performed to please the Supreme Lord, right? So it does not, I mean, no selfish motives is there. It's always we are serving the Supreme Lord. Okay, that is okay. So what is the result of it? What is the result of is that the devotees will become more dearer to the Lord, develop the bhava or rasa among the four primary rasas. That is called as Kevala Bhakti.
Kevala Bhakti.
Okay. Okay, there is one more bhakti called as Mishra Bhakti. What is Mishra Bhakti? Mishra Bhakti is bhakti mixed with mixed with
Change
karma,
of.
jnana, or Ashtanga Yoga, right? So even in this Mishra Bhakti also there are two more bhaktis called as Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti and Guna Bhuta Bhakti. Okay. In Guna Bhuta Bhakti, bhakti is secondary importance, whereas jnana, karma, and Ashtanga Yoga are the primary because they want either bhukti or mukti. Okay. So Kevala Bhakti is the topmost bhakti wherein that's actually the predominant is the bhakti yoga, right? So even though you're doing jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, or ashtanga yoga, finally you have to come to the platform of bhakti yoga to understand about the Lord and to develop the uh, bhava or the one of the rasas with the Supreme Lord, right? So the starting point can be karma yoga or dhyana yoga or jnana yoga, but eventually it has to come to bhakti yoga to connect with the Lord and to understand about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
other two bhakti, what is Prabhu? Nishta bhakti, two portions.
So Mishra Bhakti has two bhaktis, Prabhu. Again, two divisions, Prabhu. Which is one is Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti and Guna Bhuta Bhakti, right? In Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti, Bhakti will take prominent, but still they have some kind of desires or some kind of it's still Mishra Bhakti, but you have seen, right, in 7th chapter, you have Artho, Jijnasu, Artharthi, and
Bharat.
yeah, and jnana, right? Jnani, right? So they're all seekers of something like maybe knowledge or wealth, but still, bhakti is the prominent. Whereas the
Yes.
second one, bhakti is the secondary thing, and they want mukti or bhukti, right? So that is called Mishra Bhakti. But beyond Mishra Bhakti is Kevala Bhakti.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
So can somebody read the text 42, please? Okay, I will read.
I'll read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Text 42. Adyo avataraha purushah parasya kalaha swabhavaha sat asan manascha dravyam vikaro.
When the hyphen is there, you can read continuously. Sad
Manascha.
asan manascha.
Yes, Prabhu. Manascha dravyam vikaro guna indriyani virat swarat stanu charishnu bhumnaha. Translation. Karana Vasai Vishnu. Karana Vasai Vishnu is the first incarnation of Supreme Lord. And he is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effects, mind and elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of the Lord. Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. So here, the Karanarnava Sai Vishnu means is Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. So the zone of control. So he is the first incarnation of the Lord. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is the first incarnation of the Lord. So he is the master of what? Eternal time, space, cause and effects. This Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. Mind, the elements and the material ego, the modes of nature. So with the modes of nature only Mahatattva comes. From Mahatattva, your Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and then
Shirodaka Sai.
yeah,
Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu.
Yes. So these are all good. I mean, Purusha avatars. the Lord is, Brahmaji is explaining Purushavataras of the Lord. So the senses and uniform, the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, that means the senses and universal form of the Lord. So when he created the universe, Lord himself is goes in the universe as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So each universe Lord is residing as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Okay, and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. So this is Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is the embodiment of even Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu also. So this is what we have to understand here. So what is the horizon? What is the zone of control of this entire creation? The first creation is the Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. Yes. Okay. So let us understand the next verse, 43 to 45. Can somebody recite? Or shall I recite?
You can do, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Aham bhavo yagna ime prajesha dakshadayo ye bhavad adhayascha swarlokapala khagalokapala nrulokapala talalokapalaha gandharva vidyadhara charanesha ye yaksha rakshoraganaga nataha ये वा ऋषीणां ऋषभाः पितॄणां दैत्येन्द्र सिद्धेश्वरा दानवेन्द्राः अन्ये च ये प्रेतपिशाच भूता कूष्माण्डयादो मृगपक्ष्याधीशः यत्किञ्च लोके भगवान् महास्वत् ओजः सहस्वद्बलवत् क्षमावत् श्रीह्री विभ्यूत आत्मवद अद्भुतारणम तत्वं परम रूपवद अस्वरूपम. Translation: I myself, Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, great generators of living beings like Daksha and Prajapati, yourself, Narada, and the Kumaras, heavenly demigods like Indra and Chandra, the leaders of Bhurloka planets, the leaders of earthly planets, the leaders of lower planets, the leaders of Gandharva planets, the leaders of Vidyadhara planets, the leaders of Charana Loka planets, the leaders of Yakshas, Rakshas, and Uragas, the great sages, the great demons, the great atheists, and the great spacemen, or as well as the dead bodies, evil spirits, Satans, Jinn, Kushmandas, great aquatics, great bees, and great birds, etc. In other words, anything and everything which is exceptionally possessed of power, opulence, mental and perceptual dexterity, strength, forgiveness, beauty, modesty, opulence, and breeding, whether in form or formless, may appear to be the specific truth and the form of the Lord. But actually, they are not so. They are only a fragment of the transcendental potency of the Lord. So what Lord has explained in his material creation, it is just a spark of mine is this creation. So such is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. So in this, none of the material things are the Lord's Swarupa. Everything is embodied by him. It is not Swarupa. But in the previous verses, what we have understood, Lord says that in the creation is nothing but the Lord. The form and creation is nothing but the Lord. Lord Brahmaji explained. But here, Lord Brahmaji is much clearly explaining that although including Brahma and other creations, anything in this world having various qualities may appear to be the truth, but and the form of the Lord, but none of these are his Swarupa, but are only a fragment of his transcendental potency. So, what is that we have to understand? Why he is not? Why we cannot call it as a Swarupa? It is just the fraction. It's just a little spark of the potency of the Lord. So incomprehensible, incomparable to the Swarupa of the Lord. So let us go to the next verse number text 46. Can somebody read? Last verse of the
I'll read, Prabhu.
chapter. Yes, Mataji.
You correct me, Prabhu. Pradhanyato yan rusha amananti
Lead.
leela.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Leelavataran purushaya bhumnaha
Purushasya.
purushasya bhumnaha apiyatham.
Api yatam.
Yeah, a line is there, Prabhu.
Yeah. Correct.
Apiyatham
Api. Sorry,
karnakas
Mataji. Yeah.
karnakashaya shoshan anukramishe ta iman supeshan. Translation. O Narada, now I shall state one after another the transcendental incarnation of the Lord known as Leelavataras. Hearing of their activities contracts all foul matters accumulated in the ear. These pastimes are pleasing to hear and are to be relished. Therefore, they are in my heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Brahmaji is explaining that here in afterwards, I am going to give you the Leela avatars of the Supreme Lord Krishna, which are in my heart. That means what? I am going to experience the pastimes of these Leela avatars. So I am also going to give you, so you should also experience. So with this, our Purusha Sukta, the glorification of the Supreme Lord by Brahmaji. So let us all chant once Hare Krishna mantra for the benefit of all of us to have little whatever we have understood this Purusha Avatar, Purusha Suktas. Okay.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Hare.
Thank you. So by just hearing, by just observing our all foul matters in our body, which are daunting, they are just vanquished.
cleared. Yeah.
Yes. So please pardon me if at all I have committed any mistakes in my explanations. I am just a beginner. I don't know how Shyam Prabhu has chosen me to speak today. I think it is the mercy of the Lord. But for that, I would not have got this opportunity. I thank all the devotees who are here to bless me to progress in my spiritual path.
Hari Bol.
We will
Hare
chant
Bol
once for
Prabhu,
you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
We will
Thank you.
chant once for you.
Yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Mataji. I deserve Mataji.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Thank you. So if there are no questions, no comments, we can conclude our session.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha kripa sindhubhyev
Patitanam
vaishnavanam
Pavnebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namaha.
Namaha.
Namo
Ananta
Namaha.
Koti
Ananta Koti
Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Vaishnavanta
jai,
ki
Namada
Jai,
Jai.
Sadhguru
Jai.
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada ki
Maharaj
jai.
ki
Nitai
Jai.
Gaur Premanande Hare
Hari
Hare.
Hare
Hari
Hare.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Dandavat
Dandavat
Pranam,
Pranam
Prabhu.
to
Thank
Thank
all
you,
you,
Mataji.
Mahaprabhu.
Prabhupada.
Hare
Prabhu, thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu,
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna.
Hare
Dhanavad
Krishna,
Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Dandavat
Dandavat
Pranam.
Pranam. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I am ending the session. Thank you.